Hello and welcome again to Money Tips. This is Charles Kelly bringing you money tips to help you save, earn, invest, accumulate and enjoy more money. My voice is still a little bit hoarse, so apologise for that. And if I do need to, if I break up during, then I do apologise for that. But I wanted to keep the daily broadcast going Monday to Friday anyway. So I hope you're all having a good day. Over here in the UK, we've had the election last week, and many of you know that Boris Johnson and the Conservative Party came back with a big majority. Now that's important because with a big majority it means that they can get legislation through, whereas if you haven't got a majority in Parliament then you can put things forward but they can often be voted down because some of your own MPs can rebel against the legislation. And this is what happened with Brexit. This is why we didn't leave leave Europe last year, because it was all split and they didn't have a majority. But now with a 70 or 80 majority, he can just put forward things and get things done. And that is good for business confidence, for householder confidence, for investors' confidence in the market, knowing that, we're not going to be in this state of limbo any longer that we have been really since around 2016. And of course, when Theresa May held that election in 2017 to increase the majority, she actually lost her majority. And that was just, so since then, we've been just ticking along on idle, really. We haven't been moving forward as much as we should, and hopefully Boris can get things going. I think there will be a bit of a boom in building, and Boris has been, has told us that he's going to revive certain areas in the north of England which have maybe been neglected, put more transport infrastructure. When you put in more transport infrastructure, that means that they'll build houses around that, and that will get things moving. One of the quickest ways of getting an economy moving is to build, and this is how they come out of the Great American Depression. This President Roosevelt and that song "Happy Days Are Here Again." They went on a big building spree. Obviously, a lot of it through borrowed money, but that's fine. If you're borrowing money to buy assets and invest in assets, then that's fine. What we don't want to do is wasted money. But the government can borrow money very cheaply, as you and I can, for mortgages and etc. I may have said to you before, when I first got my mortgage, it was 16.25%. 16.25%. It was horrendous. It was only a small mortgage, but it was costing me more now than a much bigger mortgage costs nowadays. So it was a killer. But now you can go out and borrow money, and at cheap rates, less than 2% in some cases. Now, this is why they predicted that house prices will rise by 2% next year as confidence returns to the market. This is what economists predict. Howard Archer, the chief UK economist for the accounting firm EY, Ernst & Young, said the Tories' thumping win last week would boost house price growth from its current level of around 1%. So you could say it's going to double next year from 1 to 2%. Okay, that's not that exciting. But the main thing is that we all want to see is that the market moves again. Because at the moment, people are sitting on their hands and saying, well, I can't sell because I'm not getting the price I want. Then people can't buy because they're taking the stuff off the market. I think lending needs to be looked at so that the lenders are a bit more generous with their lending terms, especially where you've got low interest rates. And maybe Boris will look at that to say, well, let's loosen things up so that people can actually borrow money. They've tightened things up with the mortgage market review, which has caused a stagnation in the market, I believe. Anyway, but they're still helping first-time buyers. You can still go for a lifetime ISA and the Help to Buy scheme. Last year, 240 new homes were built, so that's pretty good. That's kind of almost on target, and I think things definitely will move. Ruth Gregory, the economist at Capital Economist, said that it was unlikely that rates would remain unchanged in 2020, but could rise to 1% in 2021, although others predict that it will stay the same and maybe even drop. She said that GDP, gross domestic product, would increase by 1.8% in 2021 as spending plans fuel the economy growth. So basically the government borrows money or uses taxpayers' money to spend, to build new railways, new roads or housing projects, cities even, and that then gets people back to work. You've got builders employed, architects, accountants and all these other services that get the spin-off from these projects. There's new hospitals going to be built, at least 6 in the next year or two. Archer said that the housing market activity could be given a modest lift in 2020 if the government introduces specific measures aimed at boosting the sector in the budget. So that will be coming up soon. And low mortgage interest rates and a shortage of properties for sale should provide some support to prices. So that's good news for the market. Although for landlords, we've still got a lot of buy-to-let landlords who are holding back because of the changes in the tax laws and this general more legislation coming through, which is making some landlords want to sell. In fact, I was seeing articles from various industry experts saying that next year will be a good year because landlords would want to sell and there'll be lots of cheap properties on the market. Now, with the Conservatives getting this massive majority, because it wasn't expected, to be honest, maybe things have changed. Maybe the outlook has changed for the property market. So let's see what happens. What I would like to see is that lending will be improved and that more first-time buyers can get onto the market because that's what most people want in life. You know, they want security, they want a roof over their head, you know, they want a good career and a family life and some sort of life. When it comes down to the basics, that's what most people want. And you know, when you're in long-term rented accommodation and you're jumping from place to place, you don't feel so secure, do you? And also with new rail projects coming online next year, the Elizabeth line will stretch from Shenfield in Essex right out to Reading in Berkshire, right the way through the centre of London. And that's going to be a fantastic line, and that will lift the markets around the towns where they are served by the new Elizabeth line. So there you go. Other few bits of news is that Lloyds Bank customers are set to get a payout. 4 million Lloyds customers handed payouts because of a litany of blunders, says the headline. Various things: botched loan checks, debt collection mistakes, miscalculated payments, vulnerable customers failed, interest wrongly charged, all these sorts of things. So the banks have really had, the domestic banks have had a bit of a rough time within the last few years with mis-selling scandals. But the next mis-selling scandal could be these home income plans. And I'll be talking about that on another day. So thanks for listening. I'm off to London. My phone said there's a 40% of rain, but I'm looking out the window, I'm thinking, no, it's more like 99% of rain because it's always raining in the UK. It's cold and a bit rainy and wet at the moment as we come up to Christmas. So I hope wherever you are, you've got better weather than I have. Hi to everyone who's tuned in on Facebook Live, Park and Hazel. So thanks for tuning in. Always look forward to your comments. So thanks for that. So this has been Charles Kelly bringing you money tips to help you save, earn, invest, accumulate and enjoy more money. And if you want to get into the property market and you feel that you want to ride this next crest of a wave, then do drop me a line to charles@charleskelly.net or on Facebook Messenger. I've got a Facebook page and a community group for money tips. Drop me a line and I'll put you in touch with some very good trainers and courses that will really open your mind and teach you how to buy property using none of your own money, among other things, but also to decide whether you should be buying a single let property like a flat or a house, or should you be buying a HMO, a house in multiple occupation, and maybe converting that house into rooms. Yes, you normally need a license and there's more fire requirements, but the profit and the income from that deal would be higher than a single let, generally speaking. So what should you be doing? What type of property should you be buying? Should you be buying to flip? Should you be buying at the moment to say, well, let's buy to flip? Well, I don't know, buying to flip, if the market goes up by 2%, that's not even going to cover your fees and your stamp duty, which is another thing that landlords have been hit with. So you know, you need to know maybe how to do it more creative. I mean, maybe you can flip a property without buying it. Is that possible? Well, the answer is yes. These are some of the things you can learn. You can learn how to use options and lease purchase options. You can learn how to set up a rent-to-rent business with no money needed virtually. You know, very little money needed anyway. And there's lots and lots of things you can learn on the property courses. So yeah, do drop me a line if you're interested. I'll put you in touch with the people, and maybe it might be something that you get into and it can help you quit your job if you're not happy with your job. maybe you can get into this and find that within a year or so you could quit the rat race, quit your job, not go on that train every morning to work, or sit in that traffic jam coming home. So, this could be something that might change your life. Who knows? So just drop me a line, charles@charleskelly.net, if you're interested in going on a free taster course. That you won't need any money for that. You can go on a free course, go for one day, learn some of the various strategies and decide if you want to go deeper from there. But even that course will literally open up your mind in a big way, and you'll also be networking with people who are like-minded, and be able to chat and get some ideas from them, and maybe even team up with people that could help finance your next deal. So thanks very much for listening. This is Charles Kelly, bringing you money tips to help you save, earn, invest, accumulate and enjoy more money. Thank you.